Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fourth season of the Sons of History podcast. I am extremely excited. Alan, are you?
I have been looking forward to this season. I've been looking forward to this conversation, so I am ready to go. Ready to go. I just wish I didn't have COVID right now.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
That's right. That's right. But you seem asymptomatic.
Well, I kind of got the little burning in the lungs, but yeah, this is the worst it's been. I had a little bit of a sore throat, started on Wednesday, and it's been kind of ongoing. I'm not 100%, can't run a marathon, but yeah, I'm still, infectious. I'm still contagious, so here I am. Got to sit here by myself. But, I'm energized. I'm ready to go. I drank a bit of coffee. Looking forward to this conversation. And, it's going to be a fun one because it seems like Bill Maher chimed in on the very thing that we want to discuss. So,
yeah, exactly.
When I saw that, I was like going, holy cow, I can't believe that, so many people are going to be talking about this very subject.
Yeah, very, very timely. And speaking of your lungs are on fire, if you were 100%, would you be able to run a marathon?
I did a triathlon one time, but I really wasn't in good shape. But could I? Yeah, I could probably, I could run a few miles. I used to run about 7 miles, but
yeah, that's 1/3 of a marathon. I would not be able to do it. I'm in relatively good shape, but my legs would not hold up. In fact, I strained my hamstring just the other day playing with Madison. I reached for her real fast, and I was like, oh, wait. And so she's like starting to come at me, and I'm like, get off of me. I just strained my hamstring. So I've been laying on a pack of ice the past couple of nights. So
thank you.
As we always do, now we've got a very special guest. His name is Philip W. Magness. He is over at the American Institute for Economic Research. He put together a really good article. There was this, you mentioned it a second ago, the Bill Maher situation. He's addressing the situation over at the American Historical Association. There's this huge backlash because the president of the AHA wrote an article entitled "Is History History?" And the left came out of their boots, as they typically do, the far left. So we are going to be talking about, look, you're pinpointing, you're talking about stuff that needs to be talked about, and a Twitter mob is coming to silence you. And it's really ridiculous. And then you've got the apology from the president of the AHA. It's no good, but we're going to be talking about that, the future of history.
Hey, let me ask you something. You said the far left. I don't think that there is a line between the far left and the left. I think they're all relatively the same. Because the left allows the far left to do the things they do. But I will say that I will differentiate between the left and the liberals. Bill Maher, for instance, I would classify as a liberal. I would even say people like Joe Rogan is a liberal, but they've awakened. They're not woke. They have awakened to the things that they're seeing in this country, and they are very alarmed by it. So,
well, when I'm saying left, I mean on a political spectrum. I don't mean like a mental.
Yeah, I don't even know if the word far should even be mentioned these days because I just don't see the difference between the far left and the left when people who want to call themselves on the left allow the things that the far left. And listen, I'm going to, in their defense, in some of the Democrats' defense, because I have friends who are, yes, they have merit when they complain about some of the stuff that happens on the right.
Yeah, of course they do.
We're not...
Do you see a difference in leftist and the left?
I don't know if they're, well...
You see what I mean? Like when I'm saying far left, I mean like leftist. Like
you're right.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to get caught up in, semantics, but yeah, no, I do have a dividing line because I got a lot of friends who are on the left, Democrats, but it's like center left and you can have a conversation with them. Far left are people you can't have a conversation with. Sorry. Just like far right. You can't have a conversation with people on the far right. And I've tried.
Correct.
I know people
Yeah.
who are on the far right. And it's just like, what you're saying is one doesn't make any sense. So it's like it's on both ends of the political spectrum. And if you can differentiate between right and far right, then you sure as hell can differentiate between left and far left. Sorry, but we disagree on this first episode of the new season. But what we cannot disagree on is the need to get to This Week in History. You agree?
All right, let's do it.
All right, so This Week in History, we just mentioned Dwight D. Eisenhower, September 24th, 1957, the Little Rock crisis is taking place, and Ike sends the National Guard to integrate schools in Little Rock, Arkansas. This is from his speech, his about 12, 13-minute speech that he gave the day that took place. He said, under the leadership of demagogic extremists, disorderly mobs have deliberately prevented the carrying out of proper orders from a federal court. Local authorities have not eliminated that violent opposition, and under the law, I yesterday issued a proclamation calling on the mob to disperse. This morning, the mob again gathered in front of the Central High School of Little Rock, Arkansas. I have today issued an executive order directing the use of troops under federal authority to aid in the execution of federal law. The Supreme Court of the United States has decided that separate public educational facilities for the races are inherently unequal, and therefore compulsory school segregation laws are unconstitutional. Now, the Supreme Court decision that Ike was referencing was the Brown versus Topeka Board of Education, which was decided May 17th, 1954, which was 3 years prior. It was a unanimous 9-0 decision. Before then, the issue of segregation had been decided on the Plessy versus Ferguson case of 1896, which held that the 14th Amendment was upheld as long as everyone was treated equally, hence the phrase separate but equal, which stemmed from the Plessy ruling. Now, Brown versus Board was a direct challenge to Plessy-Ferguson, and it won the challenge, becoming one of the most well-known SCOTUS decisions in SCOTUS history. Now, our documentary, as we said, of Ike, what he did as a kid, up into the military as a general, Supreme Allied Commander, President of the United States, all that is on our YouTube channel. You can check that out. And actually, speaking of SCOTUS decisions, Alan, next week, we're going to be talking about this year's SCOTUS decisions, a lot of landmark decisions that were made. We're going to be talking with Benjamin Barton. He's a law professor over at the University of Tennessee.